Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and today I'd like to talk about Doctor Who, specifically touching again on that great topic of great companions who never were in Doctor Who history. Background characters that, as I've said before in previous videos, were just standout to me as far as being characters I would have loved to have seen on further adventures with the Doctor and his companion of Norm, or perhaps as a replacement companion. And in this case, I'm going back to the classic series once again with the classic series story, The Green Death. Now, this was a third Doctor story, John Pertwee, of course, playing the third Doctor, featuring as companion Jo Grant, as portrayed by Katie Manning. And in this particular story, which had to do with sort of business cover-ups and people going missing or dead in a mining situation, and a big company that was, basically in the production of chemicals and, just lots and lots of byproduct that was having a sort of nasty effect. There's a central hub computer called the Boss that the Doctor has to basically match in a battle of wits, and it's a very interesting story. But one of the chief characters, and of course this is Katie Manning's final story in Doctor Who history as Jo Grant, until she would later reprise in the Sarah Jane Adventures. But what I found interesting was there is this character that Jo ends up sort of being enamored with. This is Clifford Jones. He's like a professor, and he's kind of, I guess you could say the Greenpeace guy. He's got like this sort of hippie commune type of place that he hangs out at, and he's a scientist. He's very intelligent. Jo actually, in confessing to the Doctor that she's falling for this guy, compares them and says, you're very much like him and he's very much like you, and that kind of thing. And it's an interesting sort of introspective look at maybe how she's seen the Doctor. Maybe she's kind of looked at the Doctor, not necessarily in a romantic light, but with awe and wonder. Now she sees the same awe and wonder in this Clifford Jones guy. And this is what takes her away. They end up deciding they're going to get married. Now, the thing that I found interesting about Cliff is that, there are moments where he can be a little knee-jerk reactionary. He has a little bit of a temper when something, goes awry, where Jo ends up screwing up some of his scientific experiments and stuff like that. And I just thought, in a sort of season that never was, it would have been really interesting if Jo had not left and they weren't going to get married, but he became a full-on companion. And you would see, sort of over a series maybe, Jo falling for him, while, as well, whenever they would get in sort of misadventures and through space and time and what have you, there would be an adversarial, almost competitorship between this character and the Doctor. Of course, they'd get on for the most part, and they'd be in agreement in the most part. But I really thought this was a character that would have lended well to a sort of divide, to a sort of not love triangle, but a triangle for the affections. Jo would have to always weigh who she wants to side with, the man she's falling for or the man she greatly admires in the Doctor. And I just thought that would have been an interesting, you could have gotten a lot of story mileage out of that. Say they go to an alien world and there's like a species that is going extinct, akin to something I saw in Star Trek Enterprise, and another species that, they are the dominant, but they're also sort of inferior to the one that's going extinct. Well, of course, the Doctor would be the sound reason, and, we really shouldn't mess with this stuff. But, of course, this professor guy, he'd come in and he'd probably be very passionate about wanting to do something, wanting to help. And so you'd see this divide between those characters. And I think that would have been interesting storytelling in the sort of genre that Doctor Who falls into. Of course, I do understand that, if we had gotten that, we never would have gotten Sarah Jane, so I forgive it immediately. But I'm just saying, sort of a playful thinking, line of thinking, I think Clifford Jones would have been an interesting companion, alternate companion in any case. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below, basically what you think of this particular choice. If you have any other further choices from the classic or the modern series of companions you wish you could have seen. And otherwise, that'll be it for me. So hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you later. Peace.